right, let's see here. All right, we should be live on the interwebs, but if I doubt myself, all I have to do is check, and it says green, which means go, and that goes to you.
To me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll take it, Anthony. I will take responsibility. I will take the ball. I will run with the ball. Hello, Internet. It's your boy, Keebler. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm using new technology. There are lights involved. There's a webcam instead of my cell phone. There's a microphone in front of me. We're trying to bring you a better version of this podcast, both visually and on the audio end. So hopefully that's working out for you. Anthony, it's episode 2, motherfucking 58 of Love and Chokes podcast. Once again, I ask you, Anthony, what'd it do?
I just made $300 today in 10 minutes. So it's a good day.
Wow, you did a little dance?
Yeah, I was like, in 10
Look, when you
minutes.
make money, you should do a little dance.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But Anthony, some people would find that it's in poor taste that you bring up making money in a time where everyone's quarantined and no one can make any money, Anthony. Some people might get offended.
Well, that's tough. Guess what? I'm sorry I'm using my brain, using the free resources I got out there.
No.
The interwebs. Hey, I'm even beating out your boy, Buku Billionaires. Come at me. I get your oil stocks are weak, son.
So you've been watching other people so you can like compare yourself to them and make fun of them as you succeed.
I saw what he's posting. I'm not interested.
Tremendous. Yeah, you're gonna turn us all into little plebeians, and maybe that's where we should be. Maybe that's what we deserve. You know,
Maybe
you're out here finding ways to earn in a fucked up economy.
Yeah.
Rest of us have our fingers up our butts.
Yeah. Trying my best.
Anthony's out here.
Trying my best.
Tron's best.
Trying my best.
You know who else tries his best? This is the segue of the year. You know who tries his best every motherfucking time? And my Uncle Chael agrees.
Anthony Smith.
Incorrect. Not that that's actually incorrect. Let me rephrase. That is not who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Right? Anthony Smith, I won't say that Anthony Smith doesn't try his best all the time. What I will say is that Uncle Chael mentioned another Darren on a recent podcast. And when I say Uncle Chael, I'm referring to MMA fighter and MMA analyst Chael Sonnen. Chael P. Sonnen, to be more precise. And Chael P. said that Darren Elkins is the most reliable fighter in the UFC and in all of MMA. And he defined reliable as when you book that guy, you know that guy is going to go out and get in a fist fight. And that's a very particular thing. What he was trying to say is what everybody says they'll do is I'm going to fucking get out there and I'm going to scrap it out and it's going to be raw and nasty. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to bang, I'm going to stand in front of this guy, I'm going to fucking put him down. But people don't do that. They end up playing a sport. Most people don't get into fist fights when they get into fist fights. They play a sport. And what Chael's pointing out is, hey, everybody says they're going to do a fist fight and everybody says they want to watch a fist fight. Well, every fucking time you book Darren Elkins, he gets in a fucking fist fight. And it's always badass. And he always takes a shitload of damage, so much so that it's his fucking name. Shout out to Darren Elkins. As of course, I would give praise to another Darren, right? A Darren in the true lineage of Darrens. A Darren who spells his name correctly. For if you do not spell your name correctly, Anthony, you are not a part of the true lineage.
Oh.
You're like, no, it's like you have like your second cousin removed.
Okay.
Like if you spell your name with an I or one R, it's like we recognize you as Darren's, but you're not in the true lineage.
That's true.
You're not a purebred Darren.
You're not one of us.
You're like a mud person version of Darren. You're like some kind of half breed, some kind of hybrid. But like, we still will honor you at the table of Darren's, but like, you don't get to sit at like in the good spots. But like the head of the table right now is Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins gets to be king of all Darrens for at least 2 weeks for an outstanding performance in this weekend's UFC. Did you happen to watch the fights, Anthony?
No.
Not one of them?
No. Not even paying
You
attention.
son of a bitch.
Not even a little bit.
You son of a bitch. They were worth watching.
I heard.
They were worth watching. But you know what you didn't miss, Anthony?
What?
What you didn't miss is the only thing that I didn't like about the UFC. This week's UFC featured in the main event a heavyweight by the name of Walt Harris. And Walt Harris and his family suffered a tremendous tragedy where they lost their daughter, his stepdaughter, Anaya. And being at the PI when all that was first breaking as news, even though it's not just news, it's an event in people's lives. And and I recognize that. And being around the PI and seeing everybody wearing the bracelets with her name on them, and it was an emotional time when this took place. This young lady was murdered.
Right.
Right. And so this was his first fight back since the murder and loss of his daughter. And that's a story that's important. And I understand that even Walt may have said this is a story that needs to be told. But I'm not certain it's appropriate to tell that story throughout the entire goddamn night. I'm not sure that it was in the best interest of anyone to tell that much of that story on that particular night. Now, maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. But they do have pieces of content they create for things like Fight Pass, or they could go in depth on anything they want. And if they said, look, Walt, like, if you want to put a piece together that honors your daughter and talks about what you've gone through as an athlete to come back, we'd be honored to shoot that stuff. And it's like they shot a lot of stuff like that, and then they put it on the same night that he's fighting and that other people are fighting. And so, like, right before, and it wasn't just right before Walt's fight, it was in between every fight, we're reminded of this tragedy. And that was difficult as a viewer. Now, this is extraordinarily selfish, right? And I recognize this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I'm in the production truck and I'm like, all right, we're going to put this here, we're going to put this little piece here, I would have left a lot of that, not on the cutting room floor, but in a different place. Like, that's a different piece of content that could have been just as heartfelt. And honestly, it probably would mean more if you put it all together.
Yeah.
By spacing it out like that, you drop some of the power away from it, which I guess is an argument in the other direction, right? That they were trying to balance it, to acknowledge that this happened, and to not make it unbearably heavy to watch an event. At the end of the day, we're watching the only fucking sporting event in town. We're watching the only game there is to watch. Why are we making it difficult to watch it is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, you could do it like any other sport does.
And it's the thing I'm asking. It's the thing I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on it. Because I'm not so callous as to shit on it. Like, I understand the gravity of what happened there. I really do.
Yeah.
But if I'm making a piece of television, I wouldn't have spattered it with tragedy. I wouldn't have done that. I would have acknowledged it. And I would have mentioned how this is this man's comeback. And what an amazing redemption it would be if he had the performance of a lifetime against the legend. Da-da-da, here comes the UFC. But that would have been about it, man. And then that other piece of content, like all that other footage that they showed all night, that could air somewhere else.
Yeah, you could do it that way. Or you could
Am I off base here? Do I come across sounding like some kind of insensitive motherfucker?
No. You could,
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just saying you could just there's many ways you could do it, honestly. You could do it like how they do it in most sporting events where they front load it.
What do you mean by front load it?
Like they put all of it up front, like in the first, like, you know, like before they do like tip off, before they do the beginning of the game, they go through like, oh, this is what happened, this is, you know, blah blah blah, and then like
in the same kind of a space they would do like and in memory of. blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They would do like a 5-minute segment on this event.
Yeah.
And then be like, this event is dedicated to this person. And then they go on with the event as if nothing had happened.
Right.
Yeah. I could live with that.
Yeah.
That seems appropriate.
That's usually how it's done. That's why it's weird.
You know when it's not done like that? When it's like pro wrestling. When it's pro wrestling, when a wrestler dies, like it's not all the time, but more than once, it's been entire live episodes of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I don't have a taste for it. Because I've already sat and watched things that made me fucking cry and then tried to be happy about other shit right away. It's not fun to do. It's not fun to do. I don't want to hear you tell me how you felt about Eddie Guerrero and then watch someone jump off a top rope. I'm going to cry. I want to enjoy the fucking top rope. I want to enjoy the UFC. And yes, that means I'm selfish and evil. And I understand that. And I'm strangely comfortable with these facts.
Well, that's good, I guess. I think.
It's like, oh, it's good that you're comfortable then.
I guess so. I guess it's okay. Nobody's too upset, so there's that.
I'm upset. I'm upset that they made me upset.
Oh, you're upset about that, see, but nobody's upset that you're upset.
I hate you, Anthony. No one's upset that you're upset. And your daily reminder, Darren, that no one fucking cares.
It's like nobody's upset.
Here's a
little spoonful of it right here.
Here's a little spoonful of shut the fuck up. Yeah, like suck on this.
Oh man, speaking of your daddy Chael or Daddy Chael, I don't know if he's your daddy, but Daddy Chael.
I call him Uncle Chael.
Oh,
and
Uncle Chael. Is when him going hard at Jon Jones. He was just throwing like little battle rap lines at Jon Jones. Like, you're the only, wait, what's going on? Why is my computer frozen? Oh, well, we'll freestyle it. I'll look it off on my phone. That's covered in some earthly stuff.
Whoa, sir.
Let's see.
That could be anything, though. That could be mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like edible ones for, like, food consumption.
Could be that, too. Or,
that could be detritus.
I don't know what that is. Sounds like something you shouldn't be eating.
I would say you shouldn't eat detritus, if I remember, and I could be saying it wrong.
It sounds like something that you don't want to eat. There you go.
I believe it's like the first layer of decaying matter on like the forest floor.
There you go. Don't want any of that. Sounds kind of rough. So here's the tweets from Chael Sonnen. Guy, you're the only fighter in U.S. history with more mugshots than Al Capone, more wrecks than Evel Knievel, more gunshots than SEAL Team 6. More booze than David Crosby with Ernest Hemingway sitting on his shoulder. You have more permanent handcuff creases in your wrist. You handed over more belts and shoelaces than a convention of haberdashers. The only fighter who gets asked for more pics from police photographers than starstruck fans. But on the rare occasion when a fan asks for a pic, do you give them the side view out of habit? If you ever drove sober...
Wait, slow down. Slow down. You are stepping on every single one of Chael's jokes. You son of a bitch.
No, because it's literally minute after minute. It's not like, oh, hey, this is like, 10 minutes. No, it's literally 69, 7 o'clock, 7:01, 7:02.
You said something to upset my Uncle Chael.
Yeah. Last thing. Everybody knows you beat this latest case by ratting. When they offered me a deal, I hard rocked, Jack. You ratted out your dealers, got put in Punk City, then shoved out the back door. Last one. I did my bid in Gen Pop on a weight pile with the shot callers.
Oh my God.
Only thing you looked at was your cell phone to give up your contacts.
He is amazing.
He went for about maybe 20 minutes typing out maybe about 20 messages, all because Jon Jones said, "Who is this has-been with now man boobs making money off of YouTube getting hit talking about Jon Jones?" So
look, man, that's the nature of the beast. At least You're talking about a guy that fought you. At least you're talking about a guy that fought. Like, it's not just like Dame Dash would call a lot of these MMA media people culture vultures.
Why?
Because they've never been choked or hit in the face.
So they're just out here, blah, blah, blah. Hey.
So, like, you just drop a YouTube video about someone that does get punched in the face, that does get choked. Right? These people haven't even done squats and shit.
Yeah.
Like, these are just regular fucking people who talk shit.
Yeah.
Chael is not just a regular guy. Chael's a guy that's been at the highest level of the sport.
Yeah.
Who's now taking on that role of shit talker in a sense, or media person. Right?
Yeah. He's just a
that's a much better guy to have in that chair than most.
Yeah.
And I think Jon taking a jab at him is only as fun as he wants it to be. But like, I highly doubt that Chael was actually hot when he wrote any of that.
Oh no, I mean,
he may have worked himself into a shoot, but he was like a happy person. As he's like, da 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 da, like he's probably got the biggest smile on his face, like, oh, this motherfucker, you want to come for me? You want to come for me, Jon? And he's just like smiling, and his fingers are just blazing on his phone.
Going.
That had to be really fun to do.
Going. Nah, it probably was.
I think I would guarantee it happened exactly like that.
Yeah.
That he saw a tweet come across and was like, "Oh, really, Jon?" And just started smiling and just moving, like just moving, like let's go. You have more creases on your wrist. Like what the fuck? You're just having too much fun.
Great time.
Yeah, a war of words with Chael Sonnen. Unless you just want to sit back and play it like it's the dozens or like it's a roast and just like listen to him bury you, which like I don't see why you would start him. Like there's only a few people I wouldn't want to like really try to hurt my feelings, like really come at me with just they can look me up for like 24 hours and then be like, oh yeah, and then just like
Tony
oh,
Hinchcliffe.
You think you're fucking cool, Darren? And, like,
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Chael Sonnen, Jim Cornette is on top of that list. Like those are the two people I would not want talking shit about me in any way for any length of time.
Yeah.
I would cry if they wanted me to.
That's tough.
He's powerful, dude. He's powerful. Jon was too ambitious here. Jon should have backed away quietly. He should have moved away swiftly into the night. And there's no reason to call out Uncle Chael.
Yeah.
You can't win. That's like, haven't you seen Three Ninjas?
No. Sounds violent.
Anthony, Three Ninjas. Oh shit, we were supposed to do a goddamn podcast surrounding the Three Ninjas, and we will. We must do a simulcast of Three Ninjas.
I have no idea if this is streaming or not because my computer is frozen, but I can still see you moving and talking, so this will be very interesting.
All right, we will find out, but I will see that Three Ninjas is... We must simulcast it. We must watch Three Ninjas and do a podcast. And I guess we might have to steal the movie, but I'll find a link that definitely works, and we'll do that shit. So it's less than 90 minutes. I feel like it's probably an 85-minute movie.
All right, still working.
So like, this is imperative. I can't believe that you haven't seen Three Ninjas. Three Ninjas. First of all, I suggest that other people do this, and that if they do it, that they are all enjoying the loveliness that is marijuana. And if that's not something you do, then have a few drinks.
What is this? Wait, no. I ain't about this. What's going on here? What's with these kids in the backwards baseball hats? What's going on?
Dude, Three Ninjas.
What's going on?
Yo, it's very similar. You know how like The Last Samurai stars Tom Cruise?
Yeah, and like the first...
Three Ninjas, spoiler alert, Three Ninjas stars three small white children.
It's like the Karate Kid. It's like you expected to be somebody...
except for it's not gay.
What do you mean?
No, first of all, the Karate Kid rules, as do gays. See what I did there? It's 2020.
There you go.
Besides, I can say that shit. I'm not like a regular person.
Yeah. It's like...
Second of all, so yeah, Three Ninjas, Anthony, isn't to be doubted. Okay, like this isn't like a revisionist thing where like I've taken a movie and made it better in my mind.
Oh yeah.
No, I swear.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something really funny before you keep going with this. It's like all the things you're saying right now seems like you just watched like you and Bert Kreischer are now connected mentally in the head because those are things that he says. Like he believes about giving himself his own memories. Like did I think this happened or can I just pretend it happened?
Dude, I make things up all the time. Like, all right, so just today, I just walked into the room and I go, what? And I stand up because I swear to God, I heard her say help. Not like in some drastic way, but like maybe like, hey, grab this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think she was in danger or anything, but I know, I heard her. But I also know that she didn't say that, right?
Yeah.
So then, like, a couple hours later, she goes, how do you spell fern? And Casey spells fern. And I go, what? That's not how you spell friend. And she's like, what? And I'm like, did you just ask how to spell friend? And they're like, no, dude. And I'm like, I swear, that's what I was sitting right next to her. So like my brain's not firing properly. It'll start firing properly in about 30 minutes.
That's a little bit different. That's just bad hearing. That's like bad paying attention.
Is it truly bad hearing?
Yeah, no, it's just not you paying attention. It's like imagine this is what they talked about. Bert didn't know if he saw Nirvana live. He imagined he saw Nirvana live with Smashing Pumpkins, and imagined that he watched, Michael Jordan play basketball. He wasn't sure if he had that memory or not, but then he said, "Why not give that to himself?" And then he called one of his friends and found out those things did happen. So he said, and he said they felt exactly.
Like, no, dude, you did those things.
And he's like that felt.
Who knows?
That felt exactly the same to him, pretending like he had that memory and actually having that memory were the same.
You know what that means?
It means that you're destined to be an alcoholic.
It means that we're in assimilation, Anthony.
Maybe.
That's what it means. It means that the fake memories and the real memories just collide together into one smushy thing that doesn't mean anything. You're hooked up to a fucking battery, Anthony, and there's nothing you can do about it. Do you have any weird news?
I do. You are
hooked up to a fucking battery.
Well, I have to go to the interwebs again because my computer is frozen. So let's see.
I understand.
Woman.
I constructed you.
Returns.
So while you're looking up for more weird news, I have another shout out to make.
Go for it.
And it's a shout out that is an exciting one for me to make. Shout out to Dan fucking Ige. Shout out to Dan motherfucking Ige for having like tough fight after tough fight. And then when you're starting to get some headway and maybe motherfuckers are starting to notice you, they go, hey, do you want to fight the scariest fucking striker anywhere near your weight? The only person scarier you could really say is like just, oh my God, that's fucking scary, is Francis. People are shit fucking scared of Francis. But all you gotta do is show Edson Barbosa's highlight reel. Edson Barbosa's highlight reel is the most fucking freaky, terrifying thing of all time. He spin kick knock people out like he fucking murders people. And like the second that fight gets offered, you're like, yeah, dude, I'm on that.
It's like super cool. Ready to beat this dude down.
Yeah, dude, I'm on that. And then people, myself included, are like, well, maybe Ige can wrestle him. Or maybe he'll just like punch him in the face a bunch of times.
Yeah, he said super cool fast kick. Dude,
an outstanding performance. And I had him winning rounds 2 and 3. I didn't have him winning the first round and maybe he even won the first, but I didn't give him the first. I was trying to really be fair because like I'm not friends with Ige, right? It's not like I like kick it with him or anything, right?
Right.
But I like him and I see him often, and I wanted him to fucking win. And I know how fucking tough Edson Barbosa is, and what a hard fight that was. And his willingness to accept that fight and his willingness to fight the way he fought, incredible. So shout out to Mr. Ige. If it was a different day, we would invite you to the table of Darren's, but Darren Elkins, his performance was so strong that there's only room for Darren at the table. Dude, Darren Elkins had the pro wrestling cut. The cut on your forehead, like right across the top here.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they cut themselves there as wrestlers is because it bleeds a shitload there. So, like, he's got this gash on, like, high on his forehead that's just blinding him.
Yeah.
Like, blood is running down his face like fucking Ric Flair in the 80s. Like, he looked like a fucking mess. But he hung in there. Second shout out to Darren Elkins. There cannot be enough. Now.
Never.
Have you had time to find the news?
Yes. Never, ever. Will there ever be enough? Let's see. Woman returns to office to rescue banana she left in desk 9 weeks ago. It's not. It's not really like a real rescue thing. It's more like a. It's like, you know how you like, I left the oven on.
I left that banana in there.
Yeah.
Now, there's. Why would someone be in such a dire need to get a banana?
Well, it's because I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to know what it looked like. But if you can,
I have other ideas. I have a few ideas.
Yeah.
Dude, if you left a banana somewhere 9 weeks ago, wouldn't you just assume that it was thrown away?
Not if it was in your drawer.
But if it wasn't thrown away, 9 weeks ago,
yeah.
You think someone didn't take your drawer?
No
one sitting at your desk.
Not if anybody is, what's it called, quarantined.
Ah, okay. So she's quarantined and she realizes, oh shit, I left that banana in my desk, like in my dress. That's where I'm going with it. Like I left it in there like 9 weeks ago. It's probably fucked up. Let me go back and get it. You want me to fucking believe that? I think we're rescuing DNA evidence is what I'm suggesting, Anthony.
Maybe.
I think the only reason somebody would go back in there to get a banana or any other vegetable that was shaped like a phallus is because they put it somewhere where they weren't supposed to put things, and then people could tell. Like, so then instead of being like, oh shit, like, like all of a sudden it's like DEFCON 5, and like you got to get there and back before anybody notices, and then you can take a picture and say, oh, I forgot this banana, like la la la, like isn't it weird? But like, what really you just tried to keep your job and like make sure that they didn't like go through the tape. We're like, hey, was this bitch masturbating on break?
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't imagine that's a wholesome thing. Like 9 weeks, you just let that shit slide.
Maybe she should make the best banana bread ever.
That would be so fucking disgusting.
The older the banana, the better.
No, it's not the same thing as the darker the berry.
It's not. No, serious. That's how it works, though. The older the banana, the better the bread.
Not that. It has a limit, Anthony. It has a fucking limit.
I'm just
like,
saying.
and 9 weeks is well beyond that limit.
You don't know.
But in general, you're correct. Like, you don't want to make banana bread with these fucking green-ass bananas.
Exactly.
However, those green ones. Anthony, what else?
My teacher likes them firm. That's what she told us when we were in college.
Whoa.
Not college, high school, actually. She used to be a Playboy model? No, Playboy.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. That was always the thing that we thought about, and there's always been rumors of like, oh, like 1 year, like some kids like blew up the pictures and put them on our door, and like if you look, there's like a certain name if you looked her up because she like remarried a lot. Because if you looked, and then like she just said this during class one day. It's like you know, it's like guys. Like I don't like them very yellow and soft. I like them much firmer because what the kids did was they grabbed a banana that was like ripening, drew a bunch of dicks on it, then hid it in her desk drawer, and then they waited for her to.
That's awful. Oh my
She found it. I think she found it like within the day, and was like,
she was like, "What the fuck?"
She was like, "I like these much firmer, dudes. Like, what's going on?" And then they were like, "Whoa."
Good for her.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times if you just go over the top with the joke, right? It's like, have you seen the South Park episode where they have a teacher named Miss Chokes on Dick?
Maybe. No.
Miss Chokes on Dick. And so, like, Cartman looks at her and is like, why don't you suck my balls? And then everyone's like, oh, no. And, like, everyone's freaking out. And the first couple of times that she, like, encountered this kind of, like, sentences, she flipped out, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, the next time he was like, suck my balls, she was like, present them. And like, what would you do if you were a kid trying to be like fucking bad? You're like, suck my dick, and you're like, whip it out. And you're like, what? Like, oh, that's fucking gross, lady. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, you brought it up. Like, you started this shit. Like, it's fucking great. I think that's the right thing to do. Lean into the joke.
Yeah.
Lean into the joke. They draw dicks all over your banana. Be like, this banana is it's not up to par.
It's not good enough.
And these dicks will never do.
There you go.
Lean into the joke. That's a lesson we can all take.
Yeah. All right.
Lean into the fucking joke.
Last one.
Otherwise, you're putting yourself at a risk to get emotionally smushed. You gotta fucking lean into the joke. Give me that piece of news.
All right. Well, I guess you can't see it, but the South Korean soccer team, instead of having fans in the stands, guess what they use for that?
Cardboard cutouts.
Sex dolls.
Shut up.
Yes.
So they're my heroes.
Yeah.
Now, did they use blow-up dolls or really good sex dolls?
It looks like they're really good sex dolls because they don't look like they're like inflated at all, but I can't really tell.
Dude, if I could have a really, really good sex doll, Anthony, you might not ever see me again.
Maybe.
Like, it's got to at least be at the level of that Whitney Cummings doll.
Like,
right? Like,
all right, like it's movable. It looks like it's movable. Like you can move like the hands.
Mostly, if I could talk to it. If I could talk to it, and it could give me like real responses back. It doesn't have to move. In fact, it moving is far too dangerous. Like, what if it malfunctions while it's moving and holding something delicate?
I would break that thing and then just give you a little bit less than what it was worth.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, as a friend, I would just break that thing and give you whatever it was worth and a little bit less. So you couldn't actually buy it again, but you wouldn't be like bummed out that you ran out of the money, just enough so that you couldn't buy it. Like that's how mad that just made me. Like just hearing that, like, oh yeah, if it could talk, I could just like, nah, we're done here. No.
Dude, if it could talk,
no.
Could talk,
yeah.
In a real way, if it could have real conversation.
You know, the last thing it's gonna say is that Anthony's trying to murder it.
I wouldn't have real conversations with it.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, like,
doesn't matter.
If you say something, it needs to be able to actually respond.
No, that's going down in my notebook. No. When they start
moving is not okay, Anthony.
I understand all of that. I don't care. The fact is that you think it's okay that it can talk to you, and that you want to give it simple. Like it's not like, hey Google, look this up, or hey whatever. It's like, oh, how was your day? It's like, oh, it was good.
No. Don't ask me about my day. But if you need to be capable of having that conversation,
it needs to be capable of about having that how was your day conversation.
Well, because if you can't have a conversation, if I say something weird, you're gonna be like, error.
So then, does not need to be because basically what you do. No, you can't have
the worst.
I'm setting fire to that house. Whatever is in that room, if that's what's there, I'm burning it down, dude. For your own sake as a friend, no.
You're closed-minded, Anthony.
No, I'm not being closed-minded. There's nothing to be closed-minded.
Trying to fucking marry me off to some carbon-based piece of shit. I'm trying to fucking move on. I'm trying to fucking fuse with the universe.
Oh man,
and
my
get in my
brain.
fucking cyborg.
Because you know why? You know why this is bothering me so much is because I believe this is possible. Like in my head, like, I believe that this could happen, and you'd be okay with this, and a good chunk of your like life would just go away. It's like yeah, it would
actually give me more time.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself, and then we don't have to worry about any of this. This is bad.
It's terrible. Yeah, no, you're not allowed to get that thing. That's like it's like. All
right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's the purchase you gotta make when you make $1 million.
No sex doll.
Because once you make $1 million, at that point, then at least we know. All right, at least we already know it's driven. You're not really worried about the sex anymore, so we're good. Now you're doing it out of efficiency.
If it's done for efficiency's sake, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's what we've determined.
Yeah, if you already made your $1 million, then then it's efficiency's sake. It's like, oh, I get it. Like you've already hit your max level. Now you're just playing with like handicaps. It's like
it's a dangerous sentence.
Yeah, it's the truth though. It's like literally you are playing with a handicap. You're literally saying, hey, I want to communicate with somebody with less capacity than most people living today, living ever actually. That's what you just said to me.
That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
But it is very close to what I said. Anthony,
barely able
Isn't
to
it a
breathe.
wonderful podcast and
Yes.
possibly an enlightening podcast for you?
Yeah.
Because now you see that I'm truly a sick individual
Yes,
who
I
probably should be
do.
destroyed. But instead of destroying me, Anthony, you will continue to facilitate me. And very soon, we'll do episode 259 for the people.
Yes, we will.
And that makes me happy. Almost as happy as Darren Elkins' performance. And welcoming of Darren Elkins to the table in the tribunal of Darren's. Anthony, this is a goodbye for real. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO. Anthony, peace.